Today I want to share a very rare, highly unique collector coin. It's legal tender. It's right up my alley in terms of the things I collect. Comes in this absolutely exquisite custom black lacquered box, kind of a brown black lacquer. Boom, there it is. Move the box out of the way and share it with you. So this is very low mintage, 999 of them, and maybe only 50 that have the higher grade. This is the highest grade you can get, MS70. Issued this year by a private mint. And what makes it pretty fascinating, other than the profound recognizable symbology here, is the fact that the all-seeing eye, or the Eye of Providence, is incused. It's dug into below the surface of the precious metal in gold. And the actual pyramid base is uber high relief, coming up out of the surface. So one goes into the surface, one comes out, and the contrast is really works, really lovely. There are 13 hidden Freemasonry symbols that are too small for the naked eye to see. You need a jeweler's eye glass to be able to see these very esoteric occult symbols. A couple of them are easy to see, maybe 3 of them, and they're more common symbols that everyone has seen in Masonry: the sun, the moon, the owl. But there are things written and coded that are very, very esoteric. So that's for another video, but this is titled The Eye of Providence - the World's Most Powerful Symbol, in honor of the 240th anniversary of the Eye of Providence in the U.S. Great Seal. These legal tender coins commemorate this unearthly icon, radiant, staring, all-seeing eye. Super awesome. Beautifully done. So the controversy, is this classic iconographic material, or is it a secret order? Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, and John Adams all forwarded their own designs, but it was Secretary of the Continental Congress, Charles Thomson, who was picked to create this image. It was originally created by a Frenchman, Pierre Eugene de Symmetry, who designed this pyramid with the Eye of Providence on the top. But this iconic Great Seal was added in 1935, the first time that the pyramid and the eye motif were found in American dollar bill. This was the suggestion of Henry A. Wallace, President Franklin D. Roosevelt. And it just gets more iconic over time. So people want to know, what is Masonry all about? Are they good? Are they bad? Are they benevolent? Are they evil? And I like to say, just like any very large organization, most of them are wonderful, hardworking people, very kind, and the lodges are benevolent. They raise money to help people in society and do wonderful things. But there's, no matter what organization, especially the larger they get, you're going to have dark elements within these large organizations that have special interests. And I'm going to play just a couple of seconds of the famous President Kennedy speech.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings.
So, you know, what do you think he was talking about? Obviously, there are people who were working against the notion that the United States is an independent and sovereign nation, and that there are globalist ideas that are eroding the Constitution slowly before our eyes in the name of protecting us. So you can interpret it any way you want. But there was a famous Freemason, Albert Pike, who wrote the Masonic Bible called Morals and Dogma in 1871, considered the Bible to many Masons. He was senior officer to the Confederate State Army and sovereign grand commander of the Supreme Council in the Scottish Rite Southern jurisdiction for over 30 years. And he said on page 104, 105, and 819 of Morals and Dogma, he said that these symbols, the meaning behind these symbols, change depending on what lodge you're in and what degree you ascend to. And the higher you get, quote, their true explanation is revealed and reserved for adepts and the princes of Masonry. So while many, even Masons, think they understand these symbols, there are deeper and other meanings. This is a picture of Albert Pike. This is what he looked like. And there is legitimate evidence that he was the founder of the KKK. That symbol right there is the symbol for the Baphomet, who another very notorious Freemason, Aleister Crowley, here's the symbol that he wrote a lot about called the Baphomet. So, you know, you can do your own independent studies and come to your own conclusions. Who are these people? But, you know, another dark Mason would be Talat Pasha, who is the guy who was the architect to the Armenian genocide. And, you know, people want to know, like, what is Skull and Bones? You know, President Bush, that's him right there. President, every year, Yale University taps 15 students and they join the secret society called Skull and Bones. And, you know, some people tell you, oh, it's just a boys' club. They smoke cigars and help each other with business. And you can even look it up and they'll say, oh, no, Skull and Bones is not Freemasonry. Well, it is. And they hide, the symbols are always hidden. That's part of the culture. That's Geronimo's skull. I don't know who these guys are, but they look pretty whacked out. But Skull and Bones symbol, there it is, the 322. You know, what is that? 322 is a code for the Pythagorean theorem, which seems rather benign, but this was originally a formula used in Egypt when the Nile would rise each year and obliterate property lines. They would use that theorem to establish the original boundaries of everybody's property. But the reason there's 322 and this logo here is Plimpton 322 is a Babylonian clay tablet containing an example of Babylonian mathematics. There are thousands of items in the Columbia University Plimpton collection, but the one that's numbered 322 is a tablet written in 1800 BC. It has 4 columns and 15 rows in cuneiform that basically describes the Pythagorean theorem. And the significance of it on this logo is that that's a code for the theorem, which was used to reestablish new national boundaries after every war. So that's why the owl is the goddess of warfare. And that's why you see it in the logos of the Illuminati, the Bavarian Illuminati, that's an owl. You see it at the Bavarian Grove. You see it hidden in the aerial views of Washington, D.C. Capitol building. And there's many, many, many symbols hidden in Washington, D.C., you know. the Vesica Pisces, the compass and square, and the Capitol building is at the apex of the compass. And you'll see the owl at the Bavarian Grove. You'll see these hidden in the dollar bill. So I just thought I'd share. There's many ways to look at symbols and meanings, and I really think that the 33rd degree Mason, who was the founder of the Philosophical Research Foundation, Manly P. Hall, talked about how the vision of the Masons was to, America was founded here as the New World, and now it's turning into the New World Order. And they're building a one world government, and the unfinished capstone is yet to be determined. So the question is, what side of history do you want to be on? I love this coin. I love the symbols. I love the details. And it gives an opportunity to share different points of view. The goddess of Minerva.